everybody, welcome to Rogue Reviews. My name's Evan, and today we're going to dive into the recently released Death Note adaptation. There's a lot to say, and at the same time, there's really nothing to say. It's like, oh man, what a great endeavor, really, to tackle Death Note. Death Note is obviously an anime, and it has been around for a little while now. I remember when Death Note kind of took everyone by storm many years ago, and I remember there was like toys, there was all the bookstores, had their own Death Notes and the rules and all that stuff, and everyone wanted their own notebooks with the Death Note, logo on it, which was cool. I mean, it kind of took over for a little bit, which is awesome. I didn't watch it during that time. I actually watched it much later. I was scrolling around Netflix trying to find a new anime to watch or something to watch, trying to find something. And I was like, well, maybe I should finally dive into Death Note, having not known they were going to do an adaptation. This was maybe like 3 months ago. So I got about halfway through the series, and that's all I know. I don't know the ending. I have an idea of the ending from hearing different things, but I think I know enough about the anime to know the theme of the show. Yeah, we'll call it the theme, the soul of the show. They didn't get it right. I mean, I'm up for change. I'm up for change. I'm up for change for an American market. I'm up for change, to bring this, new life into the cinema, style and the movies and all that. You have to make some changes from an anime. I understand that. That being said, the changes were like, this is not Death Note. They should just call it something else, like Book of Death. I don't know, like something, because it's just not Death Note. That I think would have been a better route, was to like change the names, change everything, and have this be almost like a spin-off. Like this maybe happened before Light Yagami and before, the Death Note went to Japan and that whole story unfolded. That might have been cool, because now we're not have the ties of what's already established in the anime with these characters and the story that, is in place. That might have been cool to do a different thing altogether. But, of course, they didn't. So let's just dive into it. So, directing is Adam Wingard, and I have to say that it's not bad. The style of the shots were cool. The death scenes were like, whoa! When the first death happened, I was like, okay, they're showing it. Like, you just see this guy's face just get, like, destroyed, basically just combusted, and I had no idea. I thought they were gonna cut or like something, but it went there, and it kind of catches you off guard. You're like, oh, okay, we're gonna see the deaths, like the brutal deaths. That was interesting. They showed the deaths. There's some cool, camera work in this, some cool like big shots. Not a lot of awesome pan work done, but I mean, it was okay. It wasn't terrible, like the directing in that. So I thought he did a good job. Willem Dafoe did a great job. I think when I heard about that, there couldn't be anyone better. I mean, he's got that voice that like, I can't do it, but he's got that low voice. It's grumbly, and there's just this sinister vibe that he has, along with this carelessness, and he totally captured the character. That's probably the best part, and many other people have said the same thing. I have to agree with that Ryuk was great in this. The great thing that had going for him, Ryuk, right? You barely see him. You see him for a little bit. That interaction that he has with Light in the anime is just not there. Like that weird relationship, and they made Ryuk really detached in this movie. Like he's very like, hey, I'm gonna like watch everything, and that's how it is in the anime, but he's like, I don't know, you almost feel like there's a slight like twisted friendship between Ryuk and Light. Whether, I mean, I know he's like careless, and yeah, there's stuff happens in the anime that would see like, oh, he doesn't care about Light. I don't know, they didn't have that connection, so it just didn't add any depth to it. Light was, wow, just not Light. We have this kind of, I'm gonna say, really just average guy, like not smart, not dumb, but definitely not collected, very, rash, and not thinking about anything that he's doing with the most powerful thing that he's ever going to have in his life, the ability to kill people like this. That changes so much in the story of Death Note. I mean, the whole soul of that was the intelligence battle between him and L. And that was cool to me. Like that, I don't see why that had to be taken out for an American audience. I think we would have enjoyed that, seeing just this game of wits between it, and then have, the death and the balance, and Ryuk and having his girlfriend, which we'll talk about that. That added, I don't know, that was it for me. That was why I enjoyed Death Note. Not like, killing people and all that. It was the inner workings. It was the battle of brains. I don't know. That was cool to me, and it kept me entertained. Like, it's not like, you think it would be boring having these two nerds trying to outsmart each other. That's cool. Like, it was well done in the anime. I'm bummed they took it out in this movie where you had this, wits battle. Now it's like they have L being really smart, almost too smart. They don't show how he kind of came to his conclusions. He's just like, I think this is happening, and you know what, I'm right, so I'm going to do this. It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, what happened? And a lot of it was skipped. Let's talk about L. L was portrayed pretty well by Lakeith, what is his name? Lakeith Stanfield. Lakeith Stanfield. So he was probably the closest to his anime character, which is insane, right? I thought, dude, this would be so different. And he pulled it off. Like, he had the quirks. He had the weird, like, vibe that L has, where he sits in a chair like this, and he has, his candy. That translated well. He, towards the end of the film, not getting into spoilers, he just, like, jumps off the deep end, and I understand why, but it's just so, like, boom, 0 to 100, and now I'm, like, this completely different person. It was really weird. It just didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't, I don't know, it just didn't translate. And I'm trying to be really not be biased because I saw the anime. I know what happens. I'm trying to be really, like, seeing it fresh and seeing it as a movie. And yeah, there's just like this big jump in L's character. It's really weird. Anyway, we got Light, we got L. Let's talk about Misa, or no, Mia. They changed it to Mia. She just pissed me off. Oh man, she's like, I can't get into it. I can't get it because it's story related, but she's not like Misa. I don't know how to explain it. She was really annoying, not in the Misa way, but in the, like, I'm kind of annoying, and I go full, like, I hate this person. They got to have redeeming qualities. And with her, I don't know if it was acting or writing or something, but she was just so shallow, like stupid shallow. And you didn't feel any, she's like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh no, I'm going to do this. Oh, but Light, I love you, but no. And it just, you're like, dude, why is she in this? Like, it was really weird. And the fact that they kind of based this movie on the weakest part, which was her, they based the movie on Light trying to impress Mia, and it was just like, what? Like, that, I don't know. I'm going back to anime, but it's like, you can't, it didn't work. Like, there was no depth. There was no, like, you have this Death Note, this thing, and they're just, like, using it, like, no consideration for what they're doing, which was, part of why the anime was so good, was like, well, if I do this, there's going to be consequences. It's so weird. It's just so out of left field. I mean, you don't care. You don't feel for what's happening, because these steps that take place, it's like they follow them because the anime did it, but you've changed so much about the anime that now it's like, where are you going with it? You're like halfway following and halfway not. So now your story's butchered, and we don't care about these characters because you're not embracing it as a whole new thing, or you're not embracing their source material. And it was just really weird. It was shallow. It didn't know what was going on. And I feel like the most important parts that had to be seen were skipped. Like, there's a montage sequence in the beginning. I'm just sitting there like, whoa, they just skipped like 10 episodes of, like, and I understand they have to do that, but the whole building of Kira, the whole, like, building of his character and and how he picks his deaths, how he figures out how to do it and get away with it, all that's skipped. And it just leads to the cult following of Kira, basically, by everyone. And now he's already established, over a course of a minute, he goes from finding the Death Note to being established as the caretaker of the world and the killer of bad guys. And that whole part was the cool part. That was, you know, him building. And I understand you gotta cut to L, but I don't know, it just wasn't strong enough to do that. You need to, then if you're gonna cut all that, you need to make L and Light, that whole battle, that much better, and that more intertwined. And the most exciting we got was a chase scene, and not because it was action oriented, but because, I mean, that was it. I don't know. I don't know. It's frustrating talking about this. It's really weird. I was hoping for it to be better, and you know, along with everyone else, I didn't go into it trying to hate it. I mean, I never do that. I didn't do that with Ghost in the Shell, any other anime. You know, you want it to succeed, but it just didn't. Like, it just did not work out, and I was truly bummed at the end of it. I feel like there's just bad decisions. Bad decisions were made. Acting wasn't good. Did they try? Yeah, but well, I feel like Light tried. Mia, not so much. She was just, I don't know, her character just pissed me off. It was such a bummer. Elle did good, you know. Ryuk was amazing, but we barely see him. And the ending was just weird. It's like they portray Light to be this just like bumbling, you know, you saw that when I'm sure you've seen a clip online where he meets Ryuk for the first time. He's just like, it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty funny, but like, he's just this kid that just like has no idea the vastness of what he's been given, and mostly because that whole part was skipped. And even after, let's say they do the montage, right, which they did for a minute, is just like condensed. But now, you know, Light should be this really seasoned veteran of killing people and consequences and all that, but he's not. He's just bumbling over this girl. He's like, oh yeah, I want to kill tonight. You know, I'm feeling frisky. You know, it's just weird. Totally weird. And, you know, oh man. I'm going to give Death Note a 5. I'm going to give it a 5. Sorry for ranting so long about Death Note, but it was definitely an interesting movie, and I know the source material with it, so it was easier to, you know, go into depth with that. So anyway, guys, let me know what you thought. I know it's kind of gnarly. I may have overlooked some things. Maybe I'm too hard on it. Maybe I'm too soft on it. I don't know. But let me know what you think. I'd love to answer some questions and, you know, dive into, you know, more workings of the movie. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out Rogue Reviews. Please sub and tell your friends. We love you so much for that, and we cannot thank you enough for the support. I mean, it's amazing that we just broke 100, and it's awesome. I want to keep doing reviews. This is so much fun. And I just have to chop it up to you guys for being supportive, and I can't wait for the next 1,000 reviews, for the next 10 millennia. So, all right, guys, leave a like if you like the video. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more, and yeah, I will catch you on the next review. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time.